Wow, this is an amazing instrument. I'm told that this is played at concerts of 2,000 to 3,000 people, and even those in the back of a big hall can hear every note. These pianos didn't exist in my day. I wrote music for other keyboard instruments, harpsichord and clavichord. They don't have much power and cannot hold a note as a piano can. The piano has hammers that hit the strings. The harpsichord is a harp, but instead of plucking the strings with a finger, there is a quill inside that plucks the strings. The clavichord has a smaller sound. It was usually played in the home for private enjoyment. Then, in 1710 in Italy, Bartolomeo Cristofiore invented his gravicembalo con pian e forte, great keyboard with soft and loud. It took a bit of experimenting, but by the 1740s, the piano was a popular instrument, and the harpsichord and clavichord were going out of style. So I wrote a lot of music for harpsichord and clavichord that nowadays is played on the piano, or even the electronic keyboard. I wrote music for other instruments that have also gone out of style. Oboe da caccia, oboe d'amore, the recorder, the lute. My music was written for strings, winds, the orchestra, and the most beautiful instrument of all, the human voice. An opera is a 2 to 3 hour long play with costumes, scenery, and acting. The music greatly increases the power of the words. For me, a cantata is a 20 to 30 minute long one-act opera without costumes, scenery, or acting, where the music also intensifies the feelings behind the words. I wrote more than 350 cantatas. I also wrote music for what we called the king of instruments, the pipe organ. I wrote more than 1,000 pieces of music. Someone once figured out that it was as if I wrote 20 pages of music per day for 65 years. But my music wasn't highly regarded, and I was seen as a third-rate composer. I had one good job in my life. People complained that my music was too complicated, too difficult to listen to, too many notes. My time in European history is called the Baroque period. The history books place it in the time of 1600 to 1750. The word Baroque means bad taste. Many people disliked Baroque art and music for being too busy, too much going on. There were two styles of music back then. One was called homophony, one clear melody that stands out. While all the other voices or parts were in the background. It was also called the Italian style after Italian opera, and its display of a beautiful singing voice with the orchestra in the background. This was the style favored by the younger generation. I wrote in this style, but I also wrote in an older style called polyphony. Poly meaning plural, phon meaning voices or parts, 2, 3, 4 equally important parts at the same time, not one main melody. Imagine 2, 3, 4 people talking at the same time. People would complain, there's too much going on, I can't understand what everyone is saying. The best example of polyphony is the fugue. A fugue is a special piece of music where you take a part and change the subject in as many different ways as possible. Imagine singing what we Germans call a canon, and what in English-speaking countries is called a round, like Frere Jacques. You sing the tune and you keep repeating it as if going around in circles. What if one group sang Frere Jacques over and over, while the second group sang it backwards? And at the same time, a third group sang it upside down. And after a while, they all drift into different keys. The word fugue is related to the word fugitive, someone who runs away. In a fugue, the first voice states the subject. And then flies away in one direction. The second voice comes in to answer the first. And then flies away. A third voice enters. Once we've heard them all in one key, they wander into other keys, they go through changes, sometimes backwards or upside down, and finally return home.